So yeah, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Richard Bentley. I've been with Optic Commerce for 4 years now, and before that I worked for the SiteCare Group for 10 years. For those of you that don't know SiteCare, they're a not-for-profit business support organisation for independent practices, and part of my role there was to visit business owners and talk to them about their practices, how they could improve things, business growth, customer service. So it seemed a good fit. When the opportunity came to join Optic Commerce, it became apparent to me in the last kind of 3 or 4 years at my time at SiteCare that the biggest potential for growth and marketing and improving practices for the independent sector was undoubtedly online. These were the opportunities were. So I'm going to be concentrating on websites today and looking at what is your 2020 vision for your website. So what does a good website look like, why it's important, and some of the extra features that you should be looking to do if you want to kind of get ahead of the competition and really stand out from your competitors. If at any point anybody's got any questions, by the way, feel free to stop me, or if there's anything you don't understand, just give me a shout. So first question I've got for you is, the business owners here, how much have you invested in your practice? If we look at some of the things that you spend your money on when you're looking at marketing your practice, the signage, shop fits is a big one, equipment, frame collections, I know can be quite costly if you've got some of the higher brands and an extensive collection in there, and your window displays. But what is the first point of contact for most new customers? Website, yes, thank you. So we know that for independent practices, most of your new patients will come through recommendation. Now 10 years ago it was probably the case that that was enough. People would take that recommendation, come into you based on a recommendation from a friend. But now we know that people are doing much more research online, and that boom has happened in the last 5 years. I'm not going to steal Chris's thunder because he's talking a lot about the customer journey and how people find you, but it's not enough anymore. When someone recommends something to you, whatever it is, a new restaurant, whatever, what's the first thing you do? You're probably going to Google it, check out the website, maybe some of the reviews, maybe the social media, etc., etc. So the website is very, very important. Excellent start there. First impressions matter. For general consumers, 75% of a company's credibility is based on the website layout design. So if we go back to the first slide asking what you've invested in, if you've got a really nice shop fit, you've got a lot of frames in there that have cost you a lot of money, and then someone comes on your website and it looks like it's from 1980, are they likely to come in and spend money on your frames and even know what your fantastic shop fit looks like if you haven't got good images of your practice in there? Probably not. So your website is very, very important in terms of getting that first impression across and making sure that when people first look at your business, it's something that they want to come and they're attracted to and think, yeah, this looks modern, up to date, it's the kind of place that I would like to go and buy my glasses from, get my eyes tested, I can trust them, all the rest of it. The other thing about websites is, you probably hear this a lot today, this is one area of your online presence that you control. It's your real estate, and everything there, every bit of your marketing really should direct into your website. So any email marketing you're doing, I don't know whether you do any email marketing, if you send out email communications to your patients, most of your emails will have links back to your website on there. Anybody refers anything, I've already mentioned, people are going to look online. If you do any direct mail, Jasper's going to be talking to you about direct mail. It's going to have links on there to your website. So it is the focus of everything you do. So this is something that you have to get right. It has to look modern, and it has to be attractive and help people kind of find the information they want very quickly. So what can you do? what are the things that you can do to ensure that your website is in the best state position, the best state possible. I think that's supposed to say. Several things. We've got an example here of a client of ours. That was their old website on the left, and this one is the recent website on the right. And it's what we call an optimized design. So if we take their old website, the home page is the most important page on your website because that's the first page that most people will land on. And as we can see from this example here, the logo is quite small. There's a lot of wasted space. There's not really anyone wearing any glasses, or the messages and text are quite small. It's just not a very attractive website at all. As we look at the new one that they've done through OptiCommerce, I think this practice are in Chicago, is that right, Chris?
Yes, in Illinois,
yeah. So we can see a nice clear in the top right, request an appointment there. If you click on the clock next to it, that gives you your opening hours, telephone number. And one of the things that we found, we did a lot of research when we first started out on websites, is that your eyes naturally track top right when you first look at a screen. So you'll find on our websites that a lot of that key information is in the top right of the screen there. So these are the things that you want people to be able to find and look at first of all. So obviously, what's the main purpose of a website? Hopefully for you guys, is converting the people that come and join you, come and look at the website, into getting in touch with you, whether that's through the phone call or the request or book an appointment. And then further down you can see there's some really nice modern looking images of people wearing frames and a clear offer on there as well. This is another example. This was the original website in 2014. This is for a practice called Brown and White, who are in Bedfordshire. And as you can see, there's very, very little images on that one. Again, the text is a little bit small, a little bit cramped, and huge wasted space here. So, and that was the design we came up with them for a couple of years ago, and is still the website today. This one's a bit more interesting. This is a practice in Ireland called Nolke Opticians. So this was the original website that we did for OptiCommerce, did for Nolke. So still quite a nice website. But the thing you'll find with websites is that within 3 to 4 years, you probably need to build in a budget so that you're looking at the minimum a redesign or maybe even a new website. It's not like when you pay out money on a shop fit. How long do shop fits last? How long do you do shop fits? Is it every 10 years? Is that a realistic kind of time scale? Online things move much quicker. The designs change much quicker. And so you'll see there, that's not a bad looking website, but this was a new one. It's a lot cleaner, a lot sharper. I don't think that image has come out so well on the screen there, but if you went to that actual website, that's quite a nice kind of appealing image about varied and sharp vision at any distance. A bit ironic that it doesn't look so good on the screen there. But.
Yeah, Richard, I think it's a bit old. I think they got the projector when they fitted this place out originally.
But yeah, you can see it's a really nice clean design. And the other thing, with an optimized design, we now at OptiCommerce have gone one further than that. We have advanced optimized designs for mobile. So it used to be, if you've got a mobile friendly website, it used to be that website would shrink to the size of the device that you were looking on. But all our websites now recognize that you're looking at the website on a different device, and it will resize the images so they look nice and clear on there. Another thing, small thing, for example, is a lot of the websites, rather than have the phone number, if you're on a desktop, you might want to type that into your phone. But if you're looking at the website on a phone, there's just a little phone icon there, and you can click straight through and phone the practice. So we're always trying to look at things to make things easier, and the images are really nice and clear. If you looked at that website on a mobile phone, it looks terrific. So we talked about the cleaner layout, talked about the optimized calls to action, such as the making it easy for people to be able to phone you or request or book an appointment. Intuitive navigation and menus, so it's very clear the information that you want to find is at the top, and some of them will include some drop downs. It's online with the branding, high resolution formatted imagery, which is what I just talked about in terms of shrinking it to the size of the device that it's on. It's got a really good professional look and feel, and displaying the brands and services and incentives that you offer as a practice. So they're easy to find, and again, they're just inciting people, incentivizing people to kind of click through and find out more about that. So as a result, your brand perception, if I can say that word, increases. You'll also get an increase in interactions. I know Chris uses a useful stat in terms of, if you're thinking about your website, for every 100 visitors you get through, roughly there'll only be about 5 of those that actually interact with a practice. And when I say interact, that means that they'll either call the practice, fill out a web form, or book an appointment with you. So you can increase that slightly by having an optimized design on your website. There will be certain people out there that will look at that, think, yeah, it's nice and easy, I'll just go through and do it. Whereas there'll be some people, if you haven't got that will look elsewhere. Speed and mobile optimization. I've talked a little bit about the mobile optimization, but the speed that your website loads is also very, very important. The stats there will tell us that if your website takes 3 seconds or longer to load up, bounce rate is when someone comes onto your website and then clicks straight back off. You lose half your audience, and that increases by more than 50% again if that load time is more than 5 seconds. So one of the things that we do at Opticommerce is that all our websites are hosted on a very quick server so that they will load up very quickly. We understand the importance of that. So you can get cheaper hosting, but what you will probably find is that it's less secure. Your website will take longer to load up, and again, this all affects how many people you're going to get coming through the website. Content. I don't know how much time and effort you put into once you've got the website up and running, but this is important for several reasons. You need the content to be relevant, optimized, engaging, and if you can, it's well worth investing in professionally written content for several reasons. Not only does it read easier for people that are on the website and give a better impression, but I know we're going to touch on it later on, but from the search engine optimization point of view, if you've got the right keywords and everything in there, that will help you on your search rankings. So it's important to get your content right, and once you've got your website up and running, not to stop there. It's a constantly moving feast. You know, you need to keep working on your website, a bit like what you would do inside the practice. You know, you don't get a window display and keep it there for a year. So you need to be doing the same online. You need to be adding new content and fresh content all the time to your website to keep it fresh and relevant. Frame catalogs. This, I think, if you're in a well built up area and you've got good brands, you need a frame catalog. Can I ask, does anybody have one of these on their website at the moment? Claire? Yes, Claire's got one of our websites. So what the frame catalog does for you is a few things really. With us, what we would do is we would populate the website with, so like if you've got Ray-Bans, we would put the entire Ray-Ban collection on your website. And what that does is, if someone's looking for a Ray-Ban frame, each individual, if I was to click on this frame, it's actually a Cartier, I think. If I was to click through onto that, each frame has got its own individual page. So if someone was looking for that range and you've got, let's say, 100 pages of Cartier or Ray-Ban frames or whatever it is, the chances are that you're going to come up higher on that search ranking. The other thing that we'll do for you is if you have a catalogue on there, we do a service whereby we'll update that for you on a monthly basis. So any new frames we add on there without you having to do the work, all the images are on there for you, and we'll take off any discontinued frames as well. So that also means that you're getting fresh content onto your website on a regular basis, which again is a benefit in terms of search engine optimization. The other benefit is that you can use this in store if you've got an iPad. or even desktops in the practice, and someone is interested in a particular frame, but they're not sure about the colour, you can show them the other colours on your own catalogue without having to. I don't know whether people still use the physical catalogues in practice as much these days. No, most of it online with the suppliers. Yeah, so you can go to your own website rather than a supplier website on there. And then, obviously, it gives people an idea as well of what kind of frames they can expect to try on when they come into the practice, which some people do like to know about. You know, it is important to them to get a look and feel for, you know, have you got the ranges that they think are going to suit them? Have you got the brands that they kind of like or that are aspiring to? So, again, it helps that side of things. If you have got a catalogue, if you have got nice frames on there, it will definitely help your conversion levels. Virtual try-on. Has anyone got any virtual try-on on their websites? This can really make you stand out from the crowd. It gives it that real wow factor. And the way it works is that, I'll quickly show you on here. We've got a website, don't know whether anyone wants to try. Basically, even on a phone or a desktop, if you click on a try-on function, it'll load the camera, and then it automatically, I can't really show you this, but if you want to have a go and pass that round, if you put your face in the frame, so you might have to click that. And it's kind of a 3D, it's like looking in a mirror, so you can turn your head slowly, and the frame will stay on there, and move it backwards and forwards. It's an amazing bit of technology. So this is something that normally only the multiples would be able to afford. I mean, one of the things that I heard a lot when I was working for SiteCare is, how do we compete with the multiples? We'll never be able to compete with the multiples. This technology is not that expensive for what you get for it, and it can really make you stand out and give you a wow factor. It's quite impressive. So I've talked about keeping the site up to date. I don't think there's anything worse than when you click on a website and you look at the blogs and the last entry on there is 5 years ago. You know, so you do need to keep that up to date. Same with your offers and vouchers. Again, you need to kind of probably plan in changing those on a regular basis, and make sure that all your service, your opening hours, any general information, if anything changes, if you get new members of staff, you know, you need to make sure that all these are updated on a regular basis. So if you haven't got anybody that's in the practice that's kind of assigned to look after your website, then, you know, I would advise that that's something that you should look into doing. And same with the designs and features. A bit like what I was saying in terms of the website being old within 3 to 4 years. You know, you need to keep an eye on these things and speak to your web development company and make sure that you're kind of still in the game and ahead of the curve, as it were. Practice management integration. Does anybody at the moment have online bookings on their website? Yeah, okay, good. Acuitas have a fantastic system. I'm sure a lot of other practice management software companies do as well. If you have that possibility of getting it on there, I would advise you do that for several reasons. Main one being that it keeps your practice open 24 hours. There's a lot of people now that don't even like speaking to anybody. They'd much rather go online, book the appointment in their own time and without having to speak to anyone on the phone. And if they can do that on a Sunday evening when they suddenly realise they can't see as well as they thought they could, that's fantastic. You know, again, it probably prevents them looking for your competitors if they can do it through your website. Thank you. Is that still working or not?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So what's coming? Andy, you're probably better qualified on this. On the practice management side of things, contact lens reordering. I mean, we can do on some of our websites contact lens reordering already, but in terms of integrating with practice management, are we there yet? Are we?
Yes.
Yeah.
We have some installations on that.
Yeah.
It's replenishment is the easiest one for it.
Yeah.
It's rapid replenishment.
Yeah.
You want to get it done in about a minute.
Yeah.
And it's probably the highest traffic on the e-commerce website because it's
Yeah.
you haven't got the fitting and pondering,
Yeah.
the virtual side or physically, you just want them all the same. So replacements could be.
So what will happen is you'll go onto the system, you'll log in, you'll be able to view your prescription. If you put in reorder contact lenses, it will pull through your prescription, send out your contact lenses automatically and adjust the stock levels in practice. That's the whole kind of smoothness of it when it's working well. And same with e-commerce as well. That's a little bit further down the line in terms of stock control and ordering through there through the PMS, but it will be coming. Video. Sam is Opticommerce's video expert, and he's done some fantastic work already for us for several practices. And this is something that we would highly recommend. This will really make your website stand out for the competition. Again, some really useful stats here. 80% of global online traffic will involve video this year. I mean, that is huge, absolutely huge. Including video on a marketing landing page. Does everyone understand what a landing page is? This is whereby if you're running a special promotion or you want to promote something, you build a specific page for that. And if you have video on there, as you can see, it will increase your interaction rates by 80%, which again is just phenomenal. And by including video on websites, the home page, again, we can increase the interactions by 20%, so increasing your chances of people getting in contact with you. Several reasons for that is that they get a much quicker understanding and feel of your business in a much shorter period of time, and gets them a real flavour for what to expect when they come in. It takes that kind of fear factor away. It means that they haven't got to necessarily run through several pages of your website to find out the information that they want to find.
It's the way people consume information as well nowadays. It just,
Yeah.
people are willing to watch a 30-second video, but they're not willing to read a block of text. And we generally consume more and more by video. Well, Taylor Biddles,
Yeah.
Tracy did a video years ago,
Yeah.
but recently, she's revamped it and she's done a lot more videos.
It's coming up.
Absolutely.
It's all right.
Oh, sure.
Just let her know she's ready for you.
Okay, thank you. I better hurry up, lunch is ready. So this is, hopefully this is going to work. Just a couple of example videos that we've done for a practice called Joy Optical. So this is the desktop video, and then on the right you'll have the mobile phone video, and this just gives some dynamism to, rather than just have a static banner that may scroll across to another static banner, this just gives you a real kind of flavour of what the practice is, and it's just really nice and aspirational and looks really good. So just to give you a rough idea of the effect of that on there. And this is Ola, who's your boss. So yeah, Taylor Biddle are in Wolverhampton. We've got 3 Wolverhampton people here today, I believe. Yeah. So this was, they've done a whole series of videos which they're using across their websites, across their social media. And we'll definitely find that there's been an increase in traffic since they've been doing that. And I'll just give you hopefully this will play, just a sample of what this is. No sound.
Yes, this is speaker on.
That would help, wouldn't it?
Anything different?
Undiagnosed visual problems with children cause problem learning, their confidence affected, school. Simply explain, visual stress is a hypersensitivity to pattern.
Sorry, so this is a video about visual stress. And obviously she's going to talk about why it's important and all the rest of it. And it just gives you an idea as a parent probably that when you're worried about your child's vision and you're speaking to an expert and you come and see an expert, then that's really going to help the chances of that person contacting the practice.
Stripes, black print on a white background can look quite striking lines, so therefore that can hyperexcite the visual neurons. So it makes visual processing more difficult. Sometimes visual stress can be misdiagnosed as dyslexia, because you very similar symptoms and signs. The symptoms of visual stress usually is
So hopefully get the idea from that, but just a very nice kind of relaxed video, and very effective way of getting a message across. It can be used as well as on the website as well. There's other uses for the video. I know there's a couple of practices that have done videos about, for example, their OCT and their advanced equipment. And if you can talk to, if you're comfortable in front of a camera, people see the optometrist as kind of the guru and the person to listen to, the medical advisor. If you can sit there and comfortably talk about why it's important that people should have the OCT test, or the advanced eye examination, and maybe you send that video out in an email the week before they come in, you'll find that your conversion rates on your advanced eye examinations will go through the roof, because that job of, rather than waiting for them to come in or getting a leaflet that they may or may not read through, if you can sit and explain that as someone that they know and trust, you know, that really does work. So video can be used in lots of ways. It really is terrific. So I'll just give you a very quick, these are kind of...
The point which I point out that I'm not patient of availability. And the only reason I went is because they have a lovely website and a video. Honest.
Sorry, is it working? I think I tried to play two videos at once.
So yeah, it's the internet and the screen, which is not playing ball as well as with the internet and the screen are technology folks, unfortunately. So obviously considered as display.
Yeah, quaint old place, but not ideal.
There we go. Right, let's just quickly try this one more time. Okay. I think you get the idea. Those seem to be working very well. If anyone wants to have a look at those during lunch or afterwards, I'm more than happy to share those with you. So in conclusion, the main message is websites are an absolutely crucial business tool, something that you should be looking to invest in a proper way. Because your potential customers will browse and compare against local competitors. If you want to stop that happening, you increase your chances of doing that by having a terrific website. When your patients are happy with a service and they go out there and recommend you, if you've got that website that they click onto and think, wow, this is the place I want to go, the chances of them then going somewhere else and looking elsewhere are vastly reduced. Static websites are not enough. As Andy was saying, we're consuming media in much different ways these days. People expect more. Everything is now online, and if you don't look good online, if you're not keeping up with everyone else, you're going to get left behind. And the largest proportion of your acquisition and retention of customers is now online. So make sure you have an optimized website, and if you haven't, more than happy to talk to you.